Day 2. Members will please come into the chamber and take your seats. Members, please come into the chamber and take your seats. Mr. Clerk, will you ring the bell? Let's get started. Mr. Clerk, did you ring the bell? I'm not sure you did. Members will please take your seats. Members, please take your seats. All right, everyone, remember now you have to put your card in before you get. Mr. Leader, would you help the whip make sure he gets his card in so he can register his in? We're going to have the morning roll call. All members present will please vote green to signify your presence here in the chamber. And Mr. Clerk, will you unlock the machines? Have all members have not checked in, I see. Carl? All members voted. Okay, all members voted this so. Clerk will lock the machines. Doorkeepers, will you please close the doors and keep them closed? As is our custom, we will begin our day with scripture reading and prayer by our chaplain, after which we will pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. Our chaplain this morning will be introduced by the gentleman from the 4th House District, Representative Casey Carpenter. Casey.
Thank you, Speaker, colleagues, friends, and enemies. It's a pleasure to be before you today. Most of you, if you don't know me by now, know better than for me to bring my own pastor down here. So I actually brought a friend that's a pastor. It's kind of a protectionism thing, if you will. But Eric Gall is the pastor of Christ Church in Dalton, Georgia. We share children that go to school together at Christian Heritage. Daniel, Riley, and Molly. All three kids work for me at my wedding venue, and he is a man of God. He's a man that loves his community. He's a man that loves the school that our children go to, and we've sat on the bleachers for the last 6-8 years together, just yelling and screaming, trying to win. So he believes in victory, but he believes in Jesus. If you'll give him your ear, we sure appreciate him being here.
We're going to have a special baptism service for Casey afterwards. So everybody's invited. He said this will be his 9th and 10th time being baptized, because I'm going to hold him down to make sure it takes. Hey, I want to let y'all know how much we appreciate you. You starting out, I know the miles, I know the time. It's a lot. And we really appreciate y'all and your service to your communities and your service to our state, our nation, to the world. So thank you very much for your service. Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, members of the House of Representatives of the great state of Georgia, it's indeed an honor and privilege to be with you this morning. I want to thank Speaker Burns for the invitation, and thank you, Casey, not only for serving Dalton in District 4 with distinction, but also for being a good friend. So thank you. Lord willing, I would love to share just a little bit of encouragement for y'all and then have a prayer. I'd be honored to pray for you and over you this morning as we begin the new year of our Lord, 2025. It is a new year, and I always like how they depict the new year as a little baby, full of promise and expectation. The old is past, the new year looms before us fresh and clean. Kind of like everything looked last Friday afternoon and Saturday after what will go down in the annals as the great blizzard of 25. I was really glad. We got 2.5 whole inches of snow in Dalton, Georgia, and I was glad I made it to the Walmart before to get my bread and my eggs and my milk. But we made it. But you know, when you look outside and everything was covered in snow, it was fresh. It covered up all the winter blah. It was softening the hard edges, and it just looked full of promise, just like this new year. Endless possibilities. But for all these hopes and all these new starts and expectations, you know and I know that alongside those hopes, alongside those the excitement of a new year, there's also going to be times of discouragement. There's going to be times of frustration, of anxiety, and times of tough times. And I know that's the case in church life, and I figure that's probably the case for all of y'all here in this august chamber as well. With that in mind, because we live in a world that's been broken by sin, we know that there's always going to be hard times as well as times of blessing. And to that end, when we face those difficult times, I just want to share some good news that one of my favorite authors, his name's Paul David Tripp. I want to share these words with you, these thoughts. He says, remember that God is never anxious. Remember that God never wrings his hands and wishes he had made a better choice. Remember that God never worries about what's going to happen next or stresses over how things are going to turn out. God is never surprised or caught up short. God is never in a situation that overwhelms him. God never fails at a task. Remember that he never makes promises he cannot keep. Remember that he's all-powerful, absolutely perfect in every way. He's faithful to every word. He's sovereign over all that is. He's the definition of love. He is righteous. He is just. He is tender. And he is patient all at the same time. My friends, remember, please, that God's got you if you let him. God's got this if we let him. The good and the bad. That which brings joy as well as that which brings heartache. He's sovereign over it all. And God has put each of you in this place and in this time to do great things for your folks back home, to do great things for our state, for our nation, for our world, really for him. We can't do it on our own. So I want to share this wonderful verse for you to remember. It comes from 2 Peter 1:3. God's divine power, remember this, God's divine power has given us everything everything we need for life and for godliness. Remember that He's got you, that He's got this, and He's given you everything you need for life and for living in a way that honors Him and blesses others. So, in that great news, I pray that you'll find peace and joy as you go about this very important work that He has tasked you with. Would you please let me pray for you now? Let's pray together. Lord God, I pray now for your blessing and your protection over these men and women who make up the Georgia House of Representatives. I praise you that you are sovereign and that you're patient and that you're gracious and merciful even with a sinner like me. Lord, please guide their steps, guide their thoughts, guide their words, guide their actions, the actions of these representatives and their staffs. May 2025 be the best year yet in their lives, both personally and as they seek to represent their constituencies to the best of their ability. Thank you for giving us all that we need, everything we need for life and for godliness. Please bless us so that we can be a blessing, and I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stay up. Doorkeepers, you may unlock the doors. Members, you may join Pastor Eric in the anteroom to have a photo. Pastor Eric, thank you for those words of encouragement. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you. Our doctor of the day today is Dr. Richard Thomas. Representative Miriam Parrish is responsible for bringing Dr. Thomas here today, so thank you, Representative Parrish. We appreciate that. Dr. Thomas, thank you for being here and providing great health care for us here in this body downstairs. So if you need Dr. Thomas, you know where to find him. This may be a historic moment, so members, if I can get your attention. Chair recognizes Chairman Tarvin, the Chair of Committee on Information and Audits. Chairman Tarvin.
Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Information and Audits had read the journal from the previous legislative day and found it to be correct. And if I may have a few moments just to say a couple of things. This may be the last.
You'll suspend just for a minute. Members.
This probably will be the last week I do this report as we assign new chairman. But this week we're going to look back on choices we make in our life and directions we're going in our life. And it just so happened I woke up this morning at 4:30 and read the journal. And it was quite interesting. It was 11,642 words. That's very lengthy for this early, but it had everything we did in the summer, from all the vetoes to the Secretary of State's report. And as I look through that, at the end of this year, if I'm still here, we may have a test on day 40. And the question is going to be, when I look through there, there were 180 green votes up there. Now, that would be unusual to get 180, but I want everybody to see when we have a total of 180 votes anytime during this 40-day term. And it won't be a long sheet of paper, I can assure you, because it's hard to get us all here at the same time. My seatmate here, Will Wade, gave me this, and we are, you know, where we choose, and that's where we head, and it's decisions we make in our life. Now, you can put 5 years in this, 10 or 20, but I'm going to live to be 94. So 20 years from now, you'd give anything to be this exact age, exactly this healthy, and back in this exact same moment. Now, take time and enjoy it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman Tarvin. We appreciate your diligent review of the journal over the last session and certainly of our actions. Al Williams knows how difficult it is to get to 94. How's that going, Al? You're looking good for your age. What can I say? Chairman Tarvin, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, reports that the journal of the previous legislative day has been read and found to be correct. Is there any objection to dispense with the reading of the journal? I hope not. Chair hears none. The reading of the journal is dispensed with. Is there any objection to the confirmation of the journal? Chair hears none, and the journal is confirmed. Mr. Clerk, will you read the resolution establishing the order of business for the day?
Representative Administration of the 104th moves following be establishes the order of business during the first part of the period. Unanimous consents. Introduction of bills and resolutions. First reading and reference of House bills and resolutions. Morning orders.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution establishing the order of business for the day? Chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. Okay, we will move on to reading the bills and resolutions. Mr. Clerk, will you read?
House Bill 1 by Representative Iowa, the 50th, a bill being titled an act to amend Part 3 of Article 4, Chapter 11, and Title 16 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to carrying and possession of firearms.
Public Safety and Homeland Security.
House Bill 2 by Representative Howell, the 50th, a bill being titled an act to amend Chapter 7 of Title 4080 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 3 by Representative Howell, the 50th, a bill being titled an act to amend Part 5, Article 4, Chapter 11 of Title 16 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to Brady Law regulations.
Public Safety and Homeland Security.
House Bill 4 by Representative Howell, the 50th, a bill being titled an act to amend Part 5, Article 4, Chapter 11 of Title 16 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to Brady Law regulations.
Public Safety and Homeland Security.
House Bill 5 by Representative Campbell, the 171st, bill being titled an act to amend an act relating to the Board of Commissioners of Decatur County.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 6 by Representative Campbell, the 171st, bill being titled an act to amend an act providing for Board of Commissioners of Mitchell County.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 7 by Representative Kendrick, and the 95th bill being titled an act to amend Article 2, Chapter 7 of Title 4080 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to imposition rate computation exemptions and credits relative to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 8 by Representative Kendrick, and the 95th bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 7 of Title 4080 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 9 by Representative Schofield of the 63rd, Drenner of the 85th, Scott of the 76th, Davis of the 87th, Jackson of the 68th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 15 of Title 25 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to other safety inspections and regulations.
Natural Resources and Environment.
House Bill 10 by Representative Schofield of the 63rd, Davis of the 87th, Scott of the 76th, and Jackson of the 68th. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 35-119 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to prohibition of disclosure of arrest booking photographs.
Government Affairs.
House Bill 11 by Representative Schofield of the 63rd, Scott of the 76th, Davis of the 87th, and Jackson of the 68th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 7 of Title 31 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to regulation and construction of hospitals or other health care facilities.
Human Relations and Aging.
House Bill 12 by Representative Cannon of the 172nd, Irwin of the 32nd, Leverett of the 123rd, Corbett of the 174th, Kelly the 16th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 20-165, the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to equalization grants.
Education.
House Bill 13 by Representative Corbett of the 174th. Bill be titled an act to provide for the compensation for the Eccles County Board of Education.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 14 by Representative Carpenter of the 4th, Tarvin of the 2nd, Crawford of the 89th, and Fleming of the 114th. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 3, Chapter 3, Title 50 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to other state symbols.
Special Rules.
House Bill 15 by Representative Williamson of the 112th, Williams of the 148th, Douglas 78th, Dickey the 134th, Ridley the 6th, and others. The bill be titled an act to amend Title 7 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to banks and finance.
Banks and Banking.
House Bill 16 by Representative Schofield of the 63rd, McLean of the 109th, Scott of the 76th, Davis of the 87th, Glaze of the 67th. Bill be titled an act to amend Title 34 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to labor and industrial relations.
Industry and Labor.
House Bill 17 by Representative Schofield of the 63rd, Davis of the 87th, Scott of the 76th, Mitchell of the 88th, and Jackson of the 68th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 1 of Title 31 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions regarding health.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 18 by Representative Saints of the 180th, Petrie of the 166th, Richardson of the 125th, Jaspers of the 11th, Gullett of the 19th. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 22-161.3 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to Dual Enrollment Act.
Higher Education.
House Bill 19 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, Davis of the 87th. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 3, Title 37 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions related to examination and treatment for mental illness.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 20 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, Davis of the 87th. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 3 of Article 16 to Chapter 2 of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to health of students generally.
Education.
House Bill 21 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Davis of the 87th, Schofield of the 63rd. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 2, Chapter 7, and Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to imposition rate computation exemptions and credits from income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 22 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Davis of the 87th, Schofield of the 63rd. Bill be titled an act to amend Title 34 and 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to labor and industrial relations.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 23 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, Davis of the 87th. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 3 of Article 6 of Chapter 2, Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to educational programs under the Quality Basic Education Act.
Education.
House Bill 24 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, Davis of the 87th. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 2, Chapter 1 and Title 37 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to powers and duties of the Department of Behavioral Health.
Education.
House Bill 25 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Davis of the 87th, Schofield of the 63rd. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 4, Title 49 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to public assistance generally.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 26 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, and Davis of the 87th. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 2, Chapter 1 and Title 37 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to powers and duties of the Department of Behavioral Health.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 27 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, and Davis of the 87th. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 5 of Article 6 of Chapter 2, Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to program weights and funding requirements under the Quality Basic Education Act.
Education.
House Bill 28 by Representative Cannon of the 172nd. The bill be titled an act to provide a homestead exemption from Colquitt County ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 29 by Representative Cannon of the 172nd. The bill be titled an act to provide a homestead exemption from Colquitt County School District ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 30 by Representative Horner of the 3rd. A bill be titled an act to provide a homestead exemption from Catoosa County School District ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 31 by Representative Horner of the 3rd. A bill be entitled an act to amend and act to reconstitute the Board of Education of Catoosa County.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 32 by Representative Cannon of the 172nd and Ford of the 170th. The bill be titled an act to authorize the assessment and collection of a technology fee by the Probate Court of Cook County.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 33 by Representative Cannon of the 172nd and Ford of the 170th. The bill be titled an act to amend to authorize the assessment and collection of a technology fee by the Magistrate Court of Cook County.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Resolution 6 by Representative Kendrick of the 95th, a resolution proposing an amendment to the Constitution so as to authorize the General Assembly to provide by law for more than one seed capital fund.
Higher Education.
House Resolution 7 by Representative Campbell, 171st, a resolution honoring the life of Mr. George C. Trulock, Jr. and dedicating a road in his memory.
Transportation.
House Resolution 8 by Representative Schofield of the 63rd, Davis of the 87th, Scott of the 76th, Mitchell of the 88th, and Jackson of the 68th. A resolution supporting the creation of a state work group to increase chronic disease information and screenings in communities of color.
Public and Community Health.
House Resolution 9 by Representative Moore of the 91st, a resolution proposing an amendment to the Constitution of the State of Georgia so as to provide that revenue derived from the regulation of safe drinking water and toxic enforcement may be dedicated.
Natural Resources and Environment.
House Resolution 10 by Representative Davis of the 87th, Kendrick of the 95th, Taylor of the 92nd, Penn of the 94th, Mitchell of the 88th. A resolution urging the Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority to reaffirm its commitment.
Transportation.
House Resolution 11 by Representative Davis of the 87th. A resolution urging the Georgia Environmental Protection Division, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the DeKalb County government to resolve sewage, pollution, and spills.
Natural Resources and Environment.
House Resolution 12 by Representative Davis of the 87th, Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, and Cannon of the 58th. A resolution designating the month of April as Community Activist Month.
Special rules.
House Resolution 13 by Representative Davis of the 87th, Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, and Cannon of the 58th. A resolution recognizing April 8th, 2025 as Community Activist Day.
Special rules.
That completes first reading.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Members, one of the honors that you will carry with you the remainder of your lives is when you return to this body, even if you've only been gone a short period of time, will be welcomed back here and recognized for your contribution and your service. And we have two special members that are back with us today. And I really count both of them as my friends. What do you think? What's the problem, Gloria? I think you and I are friends. Representative Frazier she and I have some fun together over the years, but we've both been of one mind on many different occasions. Representative Pam Dickerson, it's great to see you. We missed you Sunday. We're glad to see you today. So two of our members that serve with distinction and honor in this body, Representative Pam Dickerson and Representative Gloria Frazier. Make them welcome. Representative Sharper. The new members need to understand you lead the singing in this chamber. So guess what today is? It's Pam's birthday. So let's all stand and sing and wish Pam a happy birthday. All right, Dexter.
Check one. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday and God bless you. Happy birthday to you.
And by the way, Pam, you look great, and so do you, Gloria. Good to have both of you back. Don't be strangers. We have another treat. Representative Anulowitz, Terry Anulowitz, come on down. Let's all make Terry welcome. It's good to see you back. Don't be a stranger. We have one morning order this morning. Representative Matt Reeves. Take your time. All right, members, let's give the member in the well. We're about to the end of the day, so give the member in the well your attention, because you will receive that attention when you're in the well. There's a few people in that ante room. There's nobody out there, so if you need to have an important conversation, that would be the proper location. Please give the member in the well your attention. Set a good example. Representative Reeves, you're recognized for a morning order.
Thank you, Speaker Burns. House colleagues, today is Tamil Thai Pongal Day, which is Thanksgiving in the Tamil community. We have a bunch of Tamil people here in Georgia. There are 100 million worldwide, originating from India, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, and Singapore. Dr. Indra Krishnan from Gwinnett County, who's one of our most consistent doctors of the day, has made us aware of this holiday. We've got a great resolution for them. They are here at the Capitol today learning about Georgia and celebrating Pongal, which means overflowing. So let's wish them a happy Pongal, which is Thanksgiving.
Oh, thank you, Representative. Thank you, Representative Martinez. Thanks for doing that. That's an important part of who we are here in Georgia. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions?
Recognizing January 14, 2025, a Tamil Thai Pongal Day. Commending the Corporate Volunteer Council of Atlanta. Recognizing the Lunar New Year celebrations. Commending the Atlanta Football Host Committee for hosting the 2025 College Football Playoff National Championship. Honoring and celebrating Representative Rhonda Bernal on her 50th anniversary as a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Commending Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc. for its 112 years of service and recognizing January 13th, 2025 as Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc. Founders Day. Congratulating the city of Cartersville upon its 175th anniversary. Commending Ms. Moorer, Clayton County Public Schools 2024-25 Teacher of the Year, honoring and recognizing the veterans who were victims of Agent Orange during the Vietnam War, congratulating and honoring William Edwards, and for other purposes. That completes the reading of the privileged resolutions.
Is there an objection to adopting the privileged resolutions? Chair here is done and the resolutions are adopted. We're moving on to afternoon orders. Afternoon orders. I'm going to ask the members. We have several very respectful afternoon orders. So members, please take your seats. Members, take your seats. And I know most of you standing up, so I'm going to start calling your names in just a minute. If I don't know your name, I'm going to make up one and you might not like it. take your seats and cease conversation, please. Y'all will get the importance of our first afternoon order when I ask you all to stand. Chair recognizes Leader Elstration, Representative Persinger, and Representative Gaines for an afternoon order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. September 4th, 2024 was a day of immense tragedy for Appalachia High School, for Barrow County, and for the entire state of Georgia. An evil act of violence took the lives of 4 cherished Georgians who were deeply loved by their families, colleagues, and the community. Richard Ricky Aspinwall, a beloved teacher, coach, and most importantly, a husband and a father of 2 girls. Christina Earmine, an educator with a loving husband who reflected joy for teaching and treated her students as if they were her very own children. Mason Skimmerhorn, a friendly 14-year-old student who was creative, had a great sense of humor, and was kind to everyone. And Christian Angula, a wonderful 14-year-old student who was friendly, kind, loving, and cared for all. May their memory be eternal. We must keep the families of these beautiful souls in our prayers to show them the love and the care that each of us, I know, deeply feel for them. I commend the quick action of the Barrow County Sheriff's Department, Barrow County Schools, the GBI, GEMA, Georgia State Patrol, and many others for their work on September 4th and in the days that followed. Their rapid response saved lives. Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith said on that tragic day, "This was an act of pure evil, but love will prevail." My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ said, as recorded in John 16:22, "Now is your time of grief, but I will see you again, and you will rejoice, and no one will take away your joy." For the state of Georgia, Barrow County, and Appalachia High School, love will prevail. We'd ask you to please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, representatives. You may be seated. Representative Alexander is recognized for an afternoon order. And friends, members, give the lady in the well your attention. This is a very special afternoon order. As a matter of fact, lady will see someone ask y'all to stand while they make this presentation. The lady may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the Women Caucus, we wanted to do this because this is a milestone. Representative Carolyn Hughley made history by becoming the second woman to hold the title of the Minority Caucus leader, and we're so proud of her, and we want to congratulate her. With these roses, we also have a nice plaque for you that reads, "History Maker as Second Woman Leader of the Georgia House Democratic Caucus, January 2025 to 2027. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, ladies. Congratulations, Representative Hughley, Leader Hughley. We appreciate your service. Nice tribute, guys. I think y'all surprised her. She was up there honoring herself for a minute. They're keeping secrets from you there, leader. Everyone can be seated. Chairman Dickey. All right, I can tell you this is an important one. He's got a lot to be thankful for, I guarantee you that. Chairman Dickey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to recognize another very important woman in Georgia this morning, and that's my wife, Cindy. She, today is our 47th wedding anniversary, so I just, thank y'all. I'm a very lucky guy. I don't know any woman in this state who's more loving, more hardworking, more forgiving than my wife. So thank you, Cindy, for 47 great years.
Congratulations, Chairman Dickey. Cindy is a true jewel. I'm not sure you deserve her, but she's put up with you for 47. I think you're a pretty good place now. Congratulations. Happy anniversary. Representative Chaz Cannon is recognized for an afternoon order. Representative Cannon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As one of the co-chairs of the new co-chairs of the House Sportsman's Caucus, I just want to inform our colleagues about the Keeping Georgia Wild Day tomorrow in the South Steps of the Capitol, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's formerly known as the Coastal Sportsman's Day at the Capitol, and it's an annual event. Allows Georgia sportsmen and coastal advocates to come together and celebrate contributions to our state's economy and quality of life. If you didn't know this, hunting and fishing generate more than $214 million in state and local tax revenue, help create nearly 40,000 jobs, and have a total annual total economic impact of over $5.2 billion. Saltwater fishing generates over $500 million in economic activity while providing recreation and fresh seafood. So tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., South Steps, Keeping Georgia Wild Day. Hope to see you there. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Georgia is a wonderful place to enjoy the out of doors, no doubt. Okay, let's see. Representative Davis and others as well recognized for an afternoon order. Got some folks coming with you? If y'all coming with Representative Davis, now's the time. Members, if you give the lady in the well your attention, please.
Where's McQueen? Representative McQueen. Okay. Yesterday was the 112th anniversary of our sorority, Delta Sigma Theta, and celebrates our founders and those that came before us and set in motion what we need to do to lead, to thrive, to accomplish our goals, and to help our community. And a very special anniversary shout out to Sora Rhonda Brunau. It is her 50th anniversary as a member of Delta Sigma Theta.
I didn't know the sorority had high school members, because I'm sure she was in high school. Congratulations. Great history there, great history. Members, I'm going to ask you to stand again as I welcome Representative Panich and Representative Cox and recognize them for an afternoon order. If you'll stand, please.
As co-chairs of the Georgia Israeli Caucus, today we have the privilege of our Israeli Consul General and her team, if you would stand, as well as some of the hostage families who have been impacted by what's going on in Gaza. If you would, stand. The Siegel family, Roman family, and forgive me, but Gonan. First, I would like to say thank you this past Sunday for several of you attending our church and having a moment up at Free Chapel in Gainesville. It touched many souls, and we really appreciate you being there. Number two, I would like to address Aviva and Sheer. Aviva is the wife, and Sheer is the daughter of Keith Siegel, Samuel Siegel, who is a current hostage in Gaza. Aviva was also taken and miraculously, by the grace of God, was released roughly 2 months after being captured. And our hearts go out to what you've seen, what you've experienced, but you continue to shed light in the midst of darkness. We appreciate you, and truly as a community of people, we're praying for the salvation to pour over and the peace of God to pour over Gaza, and that this too, that they will be freed.
Two of Maya's family members were kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th. Her cousins Yarden Rahman Gat and Carmel Gat. Yarden fortunately was returned to Israel after nearly 2 months in the pits of hell. Carmel, tragically, was murdered by her monstrous captors in a tunnel in Gaza, along with the American Hirsch Goldberg Poland. Carmel was a beautiful soul. She was an occupational therapist from Tel Aviv. Released hostage children testified that Carmel kept the children calm by doing yoga with them in captivity. Today, Maya travels and continues to tell their stories. Yarden's sister, Romi Gonen, has been a hostage in Gaza now for 466 days. Romi is a 24-year-old, happy young woman who loves dancing and traveling. She was brutally kidnapped from Nova on October 7th. She tried to escape. She called her mother, seeking guidance and comfort. For 4.5 hours, Romi stayed on the phone with her mother and sister before they lost contact. Yarden has also been traveling the world, raising awareness for her sister. Our prayers are that the hostages will be released, and after this, you are all welcome to meet them in the anteroom. Am Yisrael Chai, and bring them all home now.
Thank you. Members, you may be seated. Representative Lehman Franklin is recognized for an afternoon order. Some good folks coming to town tomorrow. Representative Franklin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Tomorrow is a great day for Georgia because tomorrow is going to be Dealer Day at the Capitol. And your local dealer is going to be here in room 216 from 8:30 to 11. And I would encourage you to drop by, talk to them, meet them, and call and talk to your dealers. But don't forget, 216, 8:30 to 11. Thank you very much.
That completes our afternoon orders. Now we have some announcements. Chairman Corbett, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this is the announcement you have all been waiting for. The Rural Caucus will have a meeting tomorrow upon adjournment. Lunch will be served. Dues are $50 a year or $100 for the biennial. So bring your checks. See Joe Campbell, and the Agribusiness Council is our sponsor tomorrow. Thank y'all. Look forward to seeing you there.
There he is. Representative Dewey McLean is recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Gwinnett House delegation will meet immediately upon adjournment in room 514 in the CLOB. That is the Gwinnett House delegation. We have some important business that we need to take care of, and lunch will be served for the Gwinnett House delegation in room 514. Lunch is for the Gwinnett House delegation in room CLOB 514. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Ron Stevens recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today begins our series of lunch and learns and field trips, if you will, to see what we've got going on in the state of Georgia. Today, our bus will leave for the Curiosity Labs. It's a 30-minute drive, and there'll be a lunch tour for about an hour, and they'll have you back here about 3:30. We will leave here at 12:30 on the end. Curiosity Labs, for those of you that don't know, Peachtree Corner is a city-owned and operated this living laboratory designed specifically for providing a ground technology for all over the world for things like self-driving cars, pizza delivery with robots and groceries and that kind of stuff. They're right up the street here, and we're going to see what they do. If you have not RSVP'd, we've got 6 more slots. That's today at 30 minutes right here on Mitchell Street. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 6 slots remaining. So if you're interested, you need to get with the chairman pronto. Chair Lady Camp is recognized for an afternoon order. Excuse me, for an announcement.
Good afternoon. I know we have several freshman members, and we welcome you. There is going to be a lunch and learn tomorrow for freshmen regarding local legislation. Lunch is being provided, of course, and it'll be informational. It's going to last about an hour. If you have any questions, please come see me, but you should have gotten an email talking about what the event's tomorrow when session ends. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Lady. Chairman Williamson, Chair of the Majority Caucus, is recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the Majority Caucus, for planning purposes, please be aware there will be a brief caucus huddle tomorrow in 341 upon adjournment. Just a caucus huddle, no lunch. Rural Caucus has got lunch following. I think Chairman Corbett just addressed that. So Majority Caucus huddle in room 341. That's the appropriations room for all of our new members, and see you upon adjournment tomorrow. Thank you.
That concludes our announcements. Let me give a thank you a shout out to some folks. So thank you all that got up this morning before the rooster crowed to be down at Eggs and Issues. He wasn't even up when I got up, Sam. I'm not sure. He crowed a little bit later while I was on the way. But I want to give a shout out to Marta and to our Chair Lady of Martok, Deborah Silcox, and Jennifer LaRosa, who represents them. They provided transportation for many of you from here to the Capitol over to the Congress Center, and very efficient travel back. I know they passed us, so they were getting it done. So appreciate that great service they provided to the House. So with that, Majority Leader of this House is recognized for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that this House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. on Wednesday, January 15th, 2025.
Thank you, everyone, for your attention today. On the motion of the Majority Leader F. Stration, that this House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. Wednesday, January the 15th, 2025. All those in favor will say aye. Opposed say no. Ayes clearly have it. We're adjourned.